Good morning. I just woke up. Oh, I got to tie my tie. Let me know if it looks weird in the comments. I do not know how to tie yet. But good morning. It is the morning of day 3. Yesterday was day 2. No, it's the morning of day 4. Wow, it is early. It's the morning of day 4. Yesterday was day 3. And I can honestly say the first 2 days went by really well. Like, it went by how they told you, you should practice in training. Like, it feels a perfect flight. Yesterday, the first flight, I did good on my part, but when I went to close the door, it wouldn't close. And so I tried it again, wouldn't close. So after that, I thought I was doing something wrong. You know what I'm saying? So my instructor came, the captain came, the aft came, ground security was trying. We all were trying to get the door closed, and we realized it was not closing. When them green lines aligning that they had you check for in training, I always check mine, and they weren't aligning, and it wasn't closing at the top. So my instructor ended up seeing that one of the pins on like the right side at the top, it was moving, but it wasn't clicking into the door, and that's preventing it from closing. We probably, between me, the other flight attendant, the captain, ground security, we probably tried about 30 times before ground security slammed it and got it in there. But we weren't late or anything, because luckily we probably still had like 5 minutes, because they usually close the gate 10 minutes before, so we probably had about 5 to 8 minutes to spare before we were late. So luckily we got that done in a timely manner. And luckily, because there was no maintenance crew on that base, and we would have had to wait 7 hours. So we would have had to deplane, go back to the hotel, and wait 7 hours. Then the flight after that, so that was my first leg. The leg after that, my aft lieutenant was talking to me and yelling. This was right before, this is while everyone was boarding. Again, while boarding. And she basically was like, yeah, watch out for the door, because when you pour stuff, if you accidentally get in the door, when you close it, it's gonna splash on you. I'm like, okay, thank you for warning me. And then she was draining water out of one of the buckets, out of one of the ice buckets. Was like, oops, I accidentally got a little bit of water in the door. I think it's gonna be a little sprinkle of water, nothing to worry about. I went to close the door. It felt like the entire bucket came pouring on me in front of everyone. And I was just like, it got in my mouth. I was like, oh my gosh. I wasn't even like mad. I was more so shocked. Like, oh my gosh. That got in my mouth. The door is sturdy. And it wasn't like a little bit of water. It wasn't a little bit of water. It felt like the entire bucket came. And then my instructor was like, oh my gosh, Destiny, are you okay? Are you okay? And she's like, here, use the napkins, clean yourself up. I'll close the door and do your main cabin door closed announcement. And she was like, are you good to do the demo? And I was like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. Because I wasn't even mad, and it didn't throw me out. What threw me off was that it almost got my eyes. And I'm wearing contacts. Contacts are super sensitive when it comes to anything. It could be a hair in your eye. A hair in your eye normally would be irritating without contacts, but with contacts, it's so irritating. You you have to stop what you're doing immediately and get that hair out. So I didn't want it to get in my contacts, because I would have had to take them out, put them back in. That's extra time we don't have. But yeah, so that was my second leg. My third leg, we had a full flight, and the passenger who was gonna be lead a full flight, and they had me seated. Customer service agents, they had me seated in 15B on a 700. It's only a couple rows from the back. So my instructor was really good about checking what seat I was in as soon as we landed, so that way she can adjust it and give me a closer seat, because not only do I have to be closer to see, I was doing pretty much everything I needed to do, but she was really good about checking my seat, making sure I was close, and also because I had to close the door. I had to close the main cabin door. And as soon as we are up in the air, wheels up, 5 minutes after, I have to, once the seatbelt sign turns up, well, 5 minutes after, 5 minutes after, I have to come up, prepare the cart for the seat aft, and begin my service in first class. So it would have took a lot of extra time doing that in the back. So she always got me moved up to at least 7B, 6B, 5B. Between 4B and 5B is where I'll be, between 4B and 7B is where I sat. And on the 700, B is an aisle seat, and that's what I needed, an aisle seat. So a customer had to get moved from 5B to 15B, and he was upset. And he's like, oh my gosh, I got bumped from my seat for a freaking flight attendant. And the ass was like, well, you know, she's in training. She has to open the door. She has to prepare the service. So, you know, we have to get her closer up so she can see. And so that transition will be smoother. He's like, whatever. So he was like, kind of giving me the look the whole flight. Like, the reason why I'm sitting back here. But I didn't pick my seat. That battle was between my instructor and a customer service agent. I had no parts. But yeah, so that was a challenge that arose. Not to mention, after that first leg, we kept worrying about the door. Like, it wasn't giving us any more issues, but it was always that thought in the back of our head, okay, we already had one issue with this door today. Another issue, they're definitely going to call maintenance. So we need to keep an eye on what's going on, and if it does happen again, let the PIC know. So I can definitely say today, well, last night, day 3 of my IOE definitely had its challenges. I feel like once I was rolling with the punches, honestly, because I feel like I had it a little too easy when it came to not the IOE, but the situations that can arise. I haven't had any bad situations on day 1 or day 2. So day 3, once I had it down pat, and once I had the, you know, the flow down pat, the service down pat, and the basic down pat, once the issues came, it was easy to roll with them because I knew what to do with my regular service. So I know what comes next. Like I'm like, okay, don't get thrown off. You know what to do next. It was just adjusting to the situations that was arising, but I was like, okay, I'm glad I'm going through this now during IOE, where I have an instructor, I have a really, really nice aft, I have a nice crew, where I can learn. I could probably guess what to do on the line, but I'm glad that I got to see what to do with my instructor. That way I know what to do, and I feel a lot more comfortable. So now if it happens when I'm by myself, I'm like, okay, I know what to do. My last leg of the day was pretty good. It was pretty good. I did, because I was already, by day 2, I was already, you know, I knew what to do. So at the last leg of today, my instructor gave me some tips about what to do in the aft, because for IOE, you're only getting trained on what to do as a forward, and you're not always going to be a forward. So I got trained on, I got a little bit of tips and tricks on what to do when I'm the aft. And we went over my paperwork, as far as what I'll be graded on for my line checks. And overall, my instructor was such a sweetheart. Like, she really made me feel comfortable since before I got there. She called, let me know, first things first, I'm not gonna let you fail. Second thing second, I'm not gonna let you break a FAR, because I break a FAR and I don't want to do paperwork. The third thing I'm gonna teach you about IOE that I want to stick with you is to work smarter, not harder, and that's gonna make your job a lot easier. And she was just really, really nice, really helpful, really patient with me, and explain things in a way where it didn't make me nervous. It made me listen. And I couldn't ask for a better instructor. Oh, when my food fell, I think that's the second day, first night or second night, she gave me some homemade burritos that she made, and it was so good. It was so good. And it's just that extra step. Like, she didn't have to do that. She's only getting paid to, you know, make sure she instructs me in my IOE, but she went that extra mile, making sure I was good in the aircraft and on the outside of the aircraft. She also made sure that we got that little extra practice in, you know, outside of the aircraft when it came to my training. So I just feel like she went above and beyond, and really the extra mile for me, and I appreciate her so much for that. But it's day 4. I only have one leg. Well, I had 2 today. One leg that I'm actually working, and I'm deadheading back to my base. So right now we're in Flagstaff. We're going right back to Phoenix. Right back to Phoenix. And then from Phoenix, I'm getting deadheaded to Minneapolis. So I'll probably see you guys in the airport after my deadhead. So I'm about to go eat breakfast. And that's it. But thank you for watching. Hi, thank you for joining me. The last day, day 4, went really well. Our first leg was really short. It was like 26 minutes in flight, so we didn't do no service. And I'm about to catch my deadhead. Thank you guys for joining me. I appreciate it. Part 2 probably not as interesting, but I did pass, so now I'm just waiting on my schedule. If you guys want me to do like a life of reserve, let me know. I'll see you guys later.